All right, so welcome back to Tech Talk Central. Today, we're going to be taking a look at something I think a lot of you guys have been asking for. We're going to be doing a head-to-head deep dive comparison of two of the hottest budget fitness trackers out there right now. We're talking about the Amazfit Active 2 and the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro.
Yeah, these are two really interesting devices because they're both trying to pack in as much as they can for a really attractive price point.
Exactly. Now, before we dive into all the details, let me just introduce myself. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Nathan.
And I'm Sarah.
And as always, here on Tech Talk Central, we're going to be breaking down all the key features, comparing the pros and cons, and ultimately helping you decide which one of these is the right fitness tracker for you.
So let's get started.
Yeah. So first things first, the display. I mean, this is basically your window into all the data that these fitness trackers are collecting, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro has a 1.74-inch narrow-edge quadrilateral display. They call it 2.5D cover glass. It basically just means it's got a bit of a curved edge to it, for a smoother feel.
Hmm.
The Amazfit Active 2, on the other hand, has opted for a slightly smaller 1.32-inch AMOLED display. But it's worth noting that this one is housed in a round 44mm stainless steel case.
And they really emphasize the brightness of that AMOLED display, especially in direct sunlight.
Yeah, they claim unmatched clarity in sunlight.
So, when you're thinking about the display, Sarah, what are some of the first things that people should be considering?
Well, I think the first thing is just size preference, right? So the Xiaomi has that larger screen real estate, like you said, it's more rectangular. That might be really beneficial if you're trying to, say, quickly glance at notifications or maybe see more data at a glance during your workouts.
Yeah, I could see that.
But if you really prioritize vibrant colors, maybe that pop that you get from an AMOLED screen, especially outdoors, that might be where the Amazfit shines, even though it's a bit smaller overall. Right. So kind of a trade-off there.
Exactly.
Now, moving on to the design and build. This is important because you're going to be wearing this thing, hopefully, all day, every day.
Yeah.
So you want it to look good.
Definitely. And you want it to hold that.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro has a nice aluminum alloy frame, and it comes in a choice of 3 different colors, which is always nice for, a bit of personalization. The Amazfit Active 2 goes with stainless steel for the body. Now, that immediately gives it a bit more of a premium look and feel, and actually, there is a premium version of the Amazfit Active 2 that's available, which has sapphire glass.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so that's super scratch resistant. So if you're someone who's prone to banging up their tech, that might be something worth considering.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially with a fitness tracker, I feel like it's more likely to get, knocked around.
Right, exactly. And with that premium version, you actually get a choice of straps. It comes with a leather strap for more of a dressy look.
Yeah.
And then they also throw in a silicone sport band for your workouts.
I like that versatility.
Yeah, and the standard sport version just comes with the breathable silicone straps in black or red.
So I guess with design, it really comes down to your own personal preference, right? Like if you're someone who wants a more rugged, robust, scratch-resistant device, that Amazfit with the sapphire glass, maybe the premium version is a good way to go. But if you like that lightweight feel and, the different color options, that aluminum alloy on the Xiaomi is certainly attractive too.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head. It's all about your personal style and what you're looking for. Now, battery life. This is huge, right?
Yeah, it's a big deal. You don't want to be charging this thing every day.
No. So the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro boasts a pretty impressive up to 21 days of battery life on a single charge.
Wow.
That's almost 3 weeks.
That's a lot.
Now, the Amazfit Active 2, still respectable, up to 10 days of battery life with typical use. So you can see there's a pretty significant difference there.
Definitely. And these battery life claims always come with that asterisk, right? Typical use, it really depends on how you're using the device. If you're using GPS all the time, or you're constantly tracking your heart rate or your blood oxygen levels, that's going to drain the battery a lot faster. But just on paper, that 21 days from Xiaomi is a really tempting number.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So moving on to what these are really all about. Health and fitness tracking. That's the core functionality here. The Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro boasts upgraded all-round sleep monitoring, improved blood oxygen and heart rate tracking, and it supports over 150 sports modes.
150? That's a lot.
That is a lot. So pretty much whatever you're into, chances are this thing can track it.
Yeah, it seems like it.
The Amazfit Active 2 also packs a punch in this department, though. It has precise heart rate and sleep tracking using their BioTracker technology.
Right.
They've got over 160 workout modes, including some specific ones like HYRS race, strength training, running, padel, and yoga. And of course, it tracks steps, offers detailed insights into your sleep patterns. Really that whole 9 yards.
So when you're looking at this from a consumer standpoint, what are the key things to be thinking about?
Yeah, I think if you have very specific sports that you're into, you might want to just double check that the device you're looking at actually lists those sports modes.
Right.
And, Amazfit, with their BioTracker technology, they're really emphasizing that word precise, suggesting a real focus on accuracy. So if you're really serious about tracking those health metrics, that might be something that sways you towards the Amazfit.
Absolutely. And, it's not just about the sheer number of sports modes that are available. It's also about the quality of the data. So, for example, both of these devices mention sleep tracking. But what does that actually mean? Like the Xiaomi talks about upgraded all-around sleep monitoring. The Amazfit talks about detailed insights. What does that actually look like in terms of the data that's presented to the user?
Right, so you'd have to kind of dig a little deeper there. Now, for outdoor enthusiasts, GPS and navigation are super important.
Absolutely essential.
The Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro has built-in GNSS and a compass. It uses a 5-satellite positioning system. So that includes GPS, GLONASS, Beidou, Galileo, and QZSS.
Yeah, they weren't messing around.
Yeah, and they claim a 33% increase in positioning accuracy. So that should be pretty reliable for tracking your outdoor workouts.
Yeah, that multi-satellite system is a huge plus, especially if you're really concerned about accuracy and you want to know exactly how far you've gone, what your pace was, all of that.
For sure. Now, the Amazfit Active 2 also has built-in GPS, with 5 satellite positioning systems for fast connection and accurate positioning. But here's where it gets really interesting. They offer free, downloadable maps with turn-by-turn guidance that you can view either directly on the watch screen or you can listen to it through Bluetooth headphones.
Ooh, that's neat.
They even have ski maps for resorts around the world.
So they're really catering to that outdoor adventure crowd.
Yeah, they're going the extra mile.
Yeah.
So while Xiaomi is focusing on really precise tracking of where you are, the Amazfit is like, okay, we'll tell you where to go too.
Right. It's that navigation element that I think is really appealing for people who are out hiking, biking, maybe exploring new trails, things like that.
Yeah, if you're somewhere unfamiliar, it would be really useful. Now, let's talk about water resistance, because again, that's an important factor for a fitness tracker. You're going to be sweating, you might be caught in the rain, you might want to go swimming.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it.
Exactly. Yeah. So both the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro and the Amazfit Active 2 have a 5 ATM water resistance rating, which is pretty standard for these devices. Generally, that means you're safe to swim in a pool. You can take a shower with it on, no problem. The Amazfit Active 2, however, also specifically mentions 50-meter water resistance and suitability for both swimming and skiing.
So even though those two ratings, 5 ATM and 50 meters, often mean the same thing, the fact that Amazfit is specifically calling out skiing as well might give you a little extra peace of mind if you're using it in snow or for, more intense water sports.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
All right, so beyond the fitness stuff, let's talk about smart features, because these are becoming more and more like smartwatches. They're not just fitness trackers anymore.
Okay.
So the Amazfit Active 2 comes with their Zep app, which is free, and they say very secure with industry-leading data protection. And then there's ZepFlow. This is where it gets really interesting because it gives you full voice control. You can reply to messages with your voice if you have an Android phone. It's got translation features. And get this, it even offers suggestions for the tone of your voice replies.
Really?
Yeah. So you can be like, hey, I need to sound a little more professional in this text message, and it'll help you out.
Oh, wow.
Of course, it seamlessly syncs with your smartphone for all your notifications.
So that's really stepping it up in terms of smart features. The Xiaomi does have smart features, of course. I mean, it handles notifications and things like that. But the Amazfit really seems to be pushing the boundaries there in terms of, that voice control and that deeper integration with their app ecosystem.
Yeah. Now, let's see what actual users are saying, because at the end of the day, that's what really matters.
Yeah, real-world experience.
So the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro has a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars on Amazon with 51 reviews. Customers seem to really like it. They say it's a solid upgrade from previous generations. It looks more like a smartwatch now. They're impressed with the GPS, saying it doesn't envy more expensive models. And of course, the low price is very appealing.
Yeah, you can't beat that value.
The battery life is also consistently praised. People are saying it lasts almost a full week for them, which is pretty amazing.
Yeah, that's great.
One user did mention needing to get used to the strap, so that's something to keep in mind. It might not be the most comfortable out of the box.
Yeah.
Now, the Amazfit Active 2 has a slightly higher rating of 4.7 out of 5 stars on Amazon. And this is from a much larger pool of 240 ratings.
Wow.
Yeah, people really seem to like this thing. They praise the crisp, bright display, the accurate sleep and heart rate tracking, the comfortable all-day wear. People are saying they barely notice it's on their wrist. The battery life is also good. It gets about a week with normal use. And again, the value for the price is really emphasized.
So it seems like it's ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, and there are a lot of comments about the stylish design, the reliable fitness tracking, and the Zepp app. One user even compared it favorably to a much more expensive Garmin device.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, highlighting things like the battery life, the software, the maps, the fact that it integrates with Google's Health Connect, and they were really impressed with the accuracy of the fitness and sleep tracking and the voice assistant.
So that's a pretty strong endorsement, especially coming from someone who's used a more premium device.
Yeah. And then finally, the all-important price. So based on the information we have, the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro is coming in at $93.58.
Okay.
And the Amazfit Active 2 is $99.99.
So the Xiaomi just edges it out in terms of affordability?
Yeah, by about $6. So not a huge difference, but,
Yeah.
Every penny counts.
Exactly. And I think when you're looking at that price difference, you have to weigh it against the overall feature set. Like we said, the Amazfit does seem to be packing in a little bit more in terms of those smart features, the navigation capabilities.
Exactly.
And, it's got those rave reviews from users. So for some people, that extra $6 might be totally worth it.
Yeah, I think that's a great point. So there you have it. We've taken a deep dive into the Amazfit Active 2 and the Xiaomi Smart Band 9 Pro. Two really impressive budget fitness trackers with a lot to offer.
And they both approach it a little differently. Like you said, the Xiaomi with that incredible battery life, the larger display, that's super appealing.
Yeah.
But the Amazfit, with that focus on smart features, those built-in maps, the user experience seems to be really top-notch.
It really comes down to what your priorities are, right?
Right.
Like, what are you looking for in a fitness tracker? What are the must-have features?
If you can answer those questions, I think the decision becomes pretty clear.
I agree. So we hope this deep dive has been helpful for you guys. To find the latest prices and deals on both of these fitness trackers, be sure to check out the links in the description below. And if you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future deep dives into all things tech.
And let us know in the comments down below which fitness tracker you're leaning towards. We'd love to hear from you.
Thanks for tuning in.